Hello, and welcome to another episode of History Speak. This podcast is entitled Lebanon's Bygone City Hall Building. From 1873 to 1963, a very prominent brick and sandstone commercial building stood at the northeast corner of 9th and Skull Streets in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. This building was constructed in 1873 in the Italianate architectural style by the Church of the Brethren's United Brethren Mutual Aid Society of Pennsylvania. The organization occupied the building for about 20 years. For a few years in the early 1890s, the building was reportedly used as a shoe factory. In 1897, the city of Lebanon purchased the building to house its city offices and police department for a sum of $15,000. That's about $568,000 in 2024 dollars. City officials announced the property transaction as a, quote, an excellent deal, unquote. The city of Lebanon passed an ordinance on September 6, 1897, for the issuance of bonds and the appropriation of funds totaling $20,000, which paid for the new City Hall building and its repurposing to accommodate city operations. On September 9, 1898, Lebanon City Council conducted its first meeting in the newly repurposed City Hall building. The September 14, 1898 edition of the Lebanon Courier newspaper reported that the new City Hall building is, quote, eloquent, convenient, fairly centrally located, and able to fulfill all the city needs, unquote. For the next 65 years, the structure served as Lebanon's City Hall building. In 1962, it was abandoned after the city of Lebanon moved all of its offices into the newly constructed Lebanon County City Municipal Building located at 400 South 8th Street. Highlights of the interior features. The first floor's south side featured the offices of the city treasurer and the controller. The mayor's office and mayor's courtroom were located on the first floor's north side. It was reported that the mayor's office was magnificently furnished. The city's financial records were safeguarded in a large vault, which was located in the north wall on the first floor. An ornate wood staircase ran from the first to the second floor. The second floor's north side featured the council chambers. Several other rooms were separated by folding doors, which accommodated multi-purpose use. Chairs and tables were available for reporters and citizens. The second floor's south side and all of the third floor housed the offices of the city engineer, fire alarm superintendent, and fire alarm apparatus, and the small chemical laboratory. Law department and the several committee rooms were also in these areas. All the city's offices and rooms were spacious and featured quality desks, chairs, tables, and other furnishings, which reportedly promoted excellent working conditions. The City of Lebanon's police station was housed in the basement of the City Hall building. 6 single holding cells and 1 large cell were available to confine prisoners. There were ample offices for the chief of police, night sergeant, and other offices of the police department. In the early 1900s, the building was equipped with an excellent telephone system in all offices and rooms, including the police station. The building also featured electric lighting and bell service, which was considered to be modern conveniences during that time. Highlights of the exterior features. The 3-story structure featured a red brick facade accented with sandstone quoins. The roof line included overhanging roof eaves, decorative brackets, and widened cornices. 3 staircases led to the entrance doors in the front of the building. The windows were tall and narrow and adorned with decorative sandstone casing at their top sections. The first floor windows were arched, and the second and third floor windows were rectangular in configuration. The building's most noticeable and distinctive feature was its cupola. That's the small dome-topped rectangular structure, which is centrally located on the roof. A water storage tank and a large bronze bell were housed within the cupola. The apex of the cupola featured a tall flagpole, which flew the flag of the United States. One of the most amusing and ridiculous incidences to recur in the Lebanon City Hall building involved a group of traveling gypsy performers. The West Reading Police Department notified the Lebanon Police Department to be on the lookout for a group of traveling gypsy performers that were, quote, wanted. On April 18, 1927, Lebanon police officer Herman Anspach spotted and detained 47 gypsies who were driving through Lebanon in a caravan of 5 cars and 1 truck loaded with camping equipment. The gypsies stated that they were simply on their way to a carnival in Pittsburgh. Of the 47 people in the group of gypsies, 32 were children, ranging in the age from 5 weeks to 14 years. All of the gypsies were taken into custody and moved inside the Lebanon City Hall building to wait for an escort back to Berks County. Apparently bored from the wait, several of the gypsy children volunteered to perform a dance show. Their performance included dances such as the Charleston, Gypsy, and Black Bottom, which was a national jazz age craze of the 1920s. Lebanon police officers, city workers, and several local spectators were thrilled by the Gypsy Children's dance show. However, the spectacle of the dance show was short-lived, as it was reported that the Gypsies had very poor table manners and extremely offensive body odor. This prompted Lebanon Chief of Police Harry Seeler to contact the West Reading Police 3 times in an effort to expedite their extradition. The people working in the Lebanon City Hall building, especially the police officers, breathed a sigh of relief after West Reading police officers showed up and escorted the gypsies out of Lebanon. The demolition and local folklore of the City Hall building. In 1963, the City of Lebanon awarded a demolition contract for $2,960.50 to the Moody Salvage Company to raise the Lebanon City Hall building. After standing for 90 years, the structure was completely demolished and all of its debris were hauled away. The city of Lebanon only salvaged 1 artifact from the building, which was the 2,000-pound bronze bell that hung inside the cupola. The bell was manufactured in 1898 by the Menely Bell Company of Troy, New York. The city paid $80 for the bell and had it installed in November 1898, which cost an additional $100. For the first few years that the bell hung in the cupola of the City Hall building, it actually served as a fire alarm. The bell was operated by electricity, and it was also equipped with an emergency backup battery. After the bell was removed from the building on June 21, 1963, a Lebanon Daily News article reported that it was relocated to the Lebanon County City Municipal Building and mounted at the northwest corner of the building. Since the Lebanon City Hall building was demolished more than 60 years ago, memories of the structure are becoming scarce. Fortunately, many artifacts, including pictures, postcards, souvenirs with the image, and newspaper articles, survived to help tell its story. The Lebanon City Hall building was surely one of the most architecturally interesting structures in the history of Lebanon. The surviving artifacts assist in keeping it alive in local folklore.